impairs you a bit, it can become difficult. And the impairment here is, you know, like just the Wi-Fi and just lag, the responsiveness.
Oh, and we're on Smash. No, down in City too. Ooh, this is definitely more suited towards Sonic, I feel.
Smash goes. We're gonna see how Salem plays this out.
But Salem is in the lead, though, might I add. I mean, it is Wi-Fi Sonic, yes, but Salem's been able to just deal with the situation so far.
And I've noticed that Salem is actually playing a lot differently than he has in his previous matches. He's actually kind of waiting for BluStriker to approach him rather than Salem trying to be super aggressive and approach him overall. And I love that he kind of baited that counter in on BluStriker and immediately inputted counter again to get that charge in. So we're gonna see probably a lot of counter baits coming out of Incineroar here, but really good stuff, taking off that stock with back air on the side of the edge too, with a stage transition at that.
BluStriker is really gonna have to work around just triggering revenge, honestly. I know Sonic can jump in the middle of most of his dashes, but at the same time, he has to worry about not doing that too often, both not spin dashing into it and just canceling out as we've seen him do before, but, you know, still using other options like spin dash into homing attack, spin dash into just like any aerial that he could potentially throw out, instead of, you know, instantly triggering off revenge and instead trying to wait and see if he can get the latter frame of it where he can get around it, per se. So I would want him to, you know, try that, or be patient like that and just fake out spin dash. But then again, that was kind of on Salem's end, where he didn't do the second revenge, but at the same time, it could have been a delay issue with internet, because it do be like that sometimes.
Yeah, unfortunately, but BluStriker was able to take off that first stock off of Salem there with a down smash, but they are at 134%, so it's gonna be a tough situation if Salem does take off that stock, and BluStriker is really gonna have to try their best to mix up their options, because at this point, I feel that Salem does have a game plan. You see, like, he's not playing super aggressive like he usually does. He's just calmly waiting for BluStriker's options and then capitalizing on that. And I feel like because of that, it makes it that much harder for BluStriker to punish. But I love that little small wall that BluStriker did off stage like that. Like if BluStriker executes more options like that against Salem, I feel that they can potentially shift this game around towards their favor.
And that was a really nice back air from Salem. Yeah.
Unfortunately, BluStriker did do a neutral get up there, and at such a high percentage, it is a really terrible option, especially at that high of a percent, because you're more vulnerable in that animation, unfortunately.
Oh, did he pineapple himself? Oh, never mind, he came back. Never mind, Sonic. I thought he did. Yeah, like he just gets the same treatment. Well, he kind of had that treatment first, but he gets the same treatment that Mega Man gets, where like he just has the same recovery and just air dodge to get extra height. Like, I mean, what can you do? Like, you just kind of have to accept it.
I mean, he's only using 100% of the game.
Yeah, that's true. He's using the game's mechanics. No, nothing more.
And BluStriker is really trying to take out that stock here.
Right.
Yeah, when he wants to go in, he wants to try and fake out Salem.
But Salem, I don't know. Does he have remain still? No, he doesn't.
Honestly, the way Salem has been playing this map, looks like he has a fair amount of matchup knowledge. And probably, maybe he would try to play a bit more aggressive, but due to the fact he's playing like practically the slowest character in the game, it's gonna be easy running in Sonic and trying to do it. So, punish style is exactly what I expected from Salem going into the seasons. He has to rip the blue terror that is Wi-Fi Sonic. Will this kill? No, almost.
Almost indeed. And he's gonna recover really deep there just to prevent Salem from any options that he normally would have went for. You know, because it would have required Incineroar to go really deep, and that's still a risk for Incineroar because while he did get a buff on his recovery, it's not guaranteed that like he'll for sure come back on that height. But that cross chop will erase that stock, and it's honestly tough to see for BluStriker considering that he was starting to make somewhat of a comeback, in my opinion. But it's still
Marshall, I'm pretty sure he wasn't ready to DI the cross chop.
Yeah, that is
Oh,
still
yeah,
true.
no.
That is still true.
Speaking about that recovery, though, taking the stock.
Mm-hmm. Just kind of
Recovery.
dived in.
Be careful what you say.
Mm-hmm. Be careful.
But still, the good
The
stuff.
next recovery might end up being the SD.
I mean, it could have gone either way. It's a 50-50. But yeah, but Salem does a really great job with Incineroar's recoveries. Very, very good job. He manages to actually kind of just lands it just right on the stage, where I feel like most players kind of overshoot it or undershoot it when they kind of drift horizontally. But I feel that Salem just executes it very well here. But here we are into the next match here, and already starting pretty fast pace here, and Salem playing a little bit more aggressively starting off, so this is gonna be interesting.
I think. Wait,
Also
are we?
probably
Yeah, we're back on.
a little bit more.
We're back
we're
on Town
back.
City, right? Because we were on there last. Sure. Yeah, we were on Town City last. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I just remembered. But ooh, he nearly caught a.
Almost got the Alolan Whip.
Yeah, he nearly got the Alolan Whip there, and it would have been nice to see him catch him out of spin dash, but he just let it go, and he got it there with Revenge, and that's the first stock.
That's a pretty devastating stock. I don't even blame BluStriker kind of chilling there, taking
Yeah.
a breather, because something like that, like, I don't blame him. Just taking a breather, assessing the situation. That is an unfortunate situation with the recovery. And
Wow, I'm sorry. I literally commented this curse up before match even started.
see, look, don't.
Yeah, come on, look, I was joking. I'm sorry. Wow, literally missing the entire ledge there.
I'm sorry, Salem.
Yeah,
He caught him recovering though. He caught him recovering though. Wait, he got the board smash.
Oh my god.
Oh no. This is so tough.
I'm playing in
I think it's only fair that we commentators curse BluStriker as well.
I think it's pretty fair that we just don't say anything except for like talking about what's going on for the rest of the match.
You know what? You're probably right about that.
You know,
Oh my god.
guys, a chance to have a chance.
Respect. Oof. This is.
Having a really hard time trying to punish Sonic's movement.
Ooh, I love that follow from BluStriker there, and avoiding that grab too, and letting that back air.
Oh, he tried to gimp with the spring there, but
Yeah, he
sent
did.
it coast to coast. Just waiting to see what. Yeah, he nearly got the back air there, but he's gonna do the up throw, and that's gonna be it for Sonic Spine. Racing that stock.
Alright, BluStriker taking a breather there, and Salem is at 107%, 130 now. Quick racking up on damage here. It looks like.
Caught Revenge. Uses it on up air. Not gonna do much, but
Do a little bit more damage before we can see any really scary revenge plays. Like I'm not sure, but oh my god!
Oh my god, you saw him snap!
Okay.
This
Needs
man
revenge.
snapped to him!
Who needs revenge?
Are you serious?
he said he only needed
Right
rage.
now, who needs revenge?
He said he only needed
Right.
rage.
I need Chak to clip that, because that was. He snapped. Sonic literally glowed yellow, and then literally Incineroar side bead, but it looked like he snapped to him. Like the game's like, you know what, you can take it, it's fine.
Yes.
And he snapped to him. Like that didn't even. I don't know.
Just like you want to
Bro,
spin
I wouldn't
dash.
have- I wouldn't have even
Yes.
read.
And then Smash was like, "Ding dong, you're Mr. Wrong. Go back to death." Just no. Just erase the stock for him.
Wow, like he snapped to him. That was weird.
Maybe we commentators curse Salem, but in the right way possible.
In 3, I'm honestly hoping that BluStriker hasn't lost any morale, especially after that unfortunate loss.
I do hope
Dying
so.
at 56%
hmm
when Incineroar was over 140.
I do think he's doing a very phenomenal job, though.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, Sonic can have a hard time closing stocks if he can't get one of his main kill moves out. We are definitely seeing some lag here.
hmm
Oh boy.
Both just waiting it out, just to see what happens. Nonetheless, the show must go
There
on.
we go.
Yep.
All right, they're jumping right back into it. Revenge back here. Over there, sorry.
Yeah, BluStriker really trying to capitalize on some options here. Definitely last game, I really upsetted them, I feel. So we're gonna see probably maybe a little bit more of a careful, aggressive playstyle coming out of BluStriker. Unfortunately, Sonic does not do too well when it comes to defensive play, I feel. So they kind of have to constantly keep up that aggression in on Salem there, but I feel like they're gonna have to take it up a bit. But Salem just doing really well, just capitalizing on options that BluStriker throws out, landing those grabs and even those command grabs, and taking that first stock.
hmm I think Sonic's only defensive option is running away. I think because that's kind of one of the only things going for him in terms of defense. I can't really say much else.
Like the only option, defensive option is block.
Yeah, block and run away, and then I wouldn't even dare spot dodge with Sonic because you're supposed to really just get in and get out, and that's kind of how he should be played.
Pretty counterproductive. You shouldn't spot
Mhm.
dodge.
I mean, yeah, but this is true. That's a nice.
Clearly, within the time in that first stock, and he manages to get it right on time. Barely taking any damage there, but these are Alolan whips consistently catch. And this is
Right.
where we saw him die to a Alolan whip last game.
I saw the
We don't
I saw
end
the
up
dream vision. I mean, sorry, I saw the dream that Salem had there. He tried to go. Ooh, he got gimped by
Oh
Spring.
yeah,
seeing him
that was
nice.
definitely unfortunate.
Oh,
But he tried to go for down air into a back air to try and finish that stock off, but the platform really just saved Sonic in terms of placement, quite frankly. I do think Salem, despite playing very well so far, I do think he has to play a bit more careful, not too careful, I guess, but at the same time, he has ground to cover, so he kind of has to go out and do these kind of risky moves where he has to basically, do things that would be detrimental in a sense against Sonic per se, but at the same time, he does have the lead in terms of how many matches have been won, but still, if he wishes to close this out, I think he should just play. He should play carefully, but at the same time, he can definitely pull it off with how he's playing now, in my opinion.
and
Yeah, for
remaining
sure.
careful and vigilant of what options Salem has available to him. He should definitely be mindful of his own options and should look for an opportune time to get in there. If he was actually a little bit closer to the ledge, he would have been able to punish that forward smash and take the stock.
Right.
Yeah, and Salem just closing in this gap here. He did lose that stock pretty early on, but he's slowly racking up BluStriker to making it super even here. And Salem's definitely choosing his punish options very, very smart, and just takes that stock off. Wow. And see, that's the case of BluStriker, he's gonna spin dash, and that's the case of Salem just reading that option and just capitalizing it